How we doing? My my name is Ryan B. Hebert, and welcome back, folks. Welcome back to our top eight match here. I have the pleasure to do this with Benjamin Tan. Ben, how we doing?
Hello, it's been a long day, and we are finally in the top eight of the tournament here. We do have Alex Tian from China against Fiona from Canada.
um, if there was a way to effectively turn my voice input down, I would probably scream "Go Alex" into the microphone. But that Feeney and Mega, or well, Lot Bunny.
Yeah, I think it's really nice for Alex here because he has his own type of Feeny to just use the super effective Icy Wing, and also, I mean, Fake Out is also a nice thing here, especially Pokemon like Mega Lopunny. They do have like a really high attack stat.
Yeah, you're right. Icy Wind coming out here. Excadrill switching in to that Rayquaza slot, taking that Moonblast and the return from that Mega Lot Bunny as well.
Wait, that's actually a really fast Tapu Fini. It even outsped the Lopunny. That's Choice Scarf Tapu Fini with a Moonblast.
Mm, how
So
exciting. Alex, you rock star.
yeah, so Alex was actually trying to go for a knockout on Rayquaza there, straight away with the Choice Scarf Moonblast, and also return from his own Mega Lopunny.
Oh, and it looks like we're going to see the Escadrille Tectonic Rage
Ooh.
going into that Eveltal, but instead it will not be effective. Heal Pulse coming out from that Tapu Fini on Fiona's side, going into Excadrill.
Yeah, if Fiona does have Rock Slide, it would be good there. But apparently she just switch out the Escadrille into Xerneas to probably take a foul play from Yveltal. Because since she's not Choice Scarf on Escadrille, Yveltal would have just outspin, knock out the Escadrille right there. So good switching.
A great switch in, actually.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic call by Alex to just do a double swap there entirely. But Fiona has readjusted and sent in her Xerneas. What's interesting is now that Misty Terrain is up on the field, most Shed Ninja, many of them try to go for a Toxic to try to
Mhm.
stall out their opponents, and it's just not something you could do in Misty Terrain. But
Yeah.
Geomet is going to be going up on that Xerneas on Fiona's side of the field.
Yeah, another thing that because we know Tapu Fini is Choice Scarf, Alex will be able to pull off a really fast soak onto Shedinja. But in this case, because Xerneas is boosted and Tapu Fini is also being uh, Icy Wind, the speed has been dropped by Icy Wind, so Alex is not able to make his Shedinja a water type anymore.
Sadly not. Sadly not. He's not able to get off a possible soak onto his Shed Ninja, which would have spelled a almost disaster for Yoshin Lugia. Even though she has the Excadrill still,
Yeah,
it would have been a tricky situation.
yeah. Because right now, because Misty Terrain is gone, Alex can just go for Toxic, which Fiona make a great switching into Escatry to prevent that. And I feel like Yveltal actually does get off the type of attack here. But if Escatry does have Iron Hate, it's gonna help against the Shedinja's Wonder Guard because of thanks to Mo Breaker.
But that Focus Sash being broken by the Iron Head, Ninja going for a protect of its own. Sucker Punch coming out from Eveltal. Dazzling Gleam coming out. Will it be enough? And it will be enough to knock out the Eveltal. Eveltal and Feeney down on Alex's side of the field, leaving him a Mega Lot Bunny and a Ninja without a Focus Sash. This just might spell disaster
Yeah,
for Alex.
I'm surprised that Alex actually didn't went to Sucker Punch the Escatry there because that's the main trap for your Shedinja. Xerneas and Tapu Fini can't really touch Shedinja, but we also know that Fiona does have 4 Pokemon right now, and all she needs to
No.
do is just focus down on Shedinja with the Iron Hit, thanks to Mo Breaker.
Yeah, and that's going to be the first game right here between these two trainers. Going pretty quickly here in 10 turns. Both players thinking quick on their feet, not taking as much time as previous trainers earlier today. Really trying to get through their top cut matches here to try to win some money and some smaller prizes later in the tournament. But Ben, let's talk about this. Going into a game 2 here, how should Alex adjust?
Yeah, because he knows that Exegir can actually hit through his Shedinja now. This no matter what, even if Shedinja is gonna be a water type, your Exegir is still gonna be able to break your Wonder God. So I feel like you want Groudon here because if your Groudon is max speed with Eruption, you would do a lot to Xerneas because most Xerneas nowadays tends to be slower than opposing max speed primals because they prefer more bulk. And also, Eruption can just pick up the KO on one hit knockout on Excadrill because we have seen that Excadrill is actually Z move instead of Focus Sash. And because we know that Tapu Fini is Choice Scarf, so bringing Tapu Fini here for the Moonblast is really nice against Fiona's Rayquaza, unless she's Assault Vest, which I think we have seen it from the previous stream. So she should be able to take the Moonblast comfortably from the Tapu Fini here.
The question though is, can this Rayquaza deal with the Lopunny and the Tapu Fini in the same turn? Will we see a possible switch out into Excadrill again? And if that's going to happen, will we see a possible high jump kick or another fighting type move come out of Mega Lopunny?
Yeah, that would be a really good read if Alex can be able to call that switch in. Oh, Alex actually went for what you were saying.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for him, Fiona decided to stay in with Rayquaza, maybe thinking that she would be able to take the Moonblast and return really well from Alex Lopunny. But from this from the high jump kick damage, even though it's not effective, it still do a lot. So maybe Rayquaza might not be able to survive the return.
And you make a good point. And there's Excadrill coming on in here, not wanting to deal with a possible Shadow Sneak from that Shedinja. And there it is. I saw what Alex was trying to do there, and I commend him. Like, it was a moment where it was like, okay, you're setting up a 50-50. Does she swap out or does she stay in and take the risk? And she did, and it paid off for her. And if Alex had clicked return, I think this would have been a different game already.
Yeah, if Alex Yveltal is carrying the Z move, what I feel is Yveltal should go for the Z move onto the Excadrill just in case Excadrill protects. Even though if Xerneas is coming in, it's gonna do a lot of damage. And actually, he does went for the Z move onto the Excadrill slot, which just switching into a Xerneas. Even though it resists, it still do a lot of damage thanks to Dark Aura and Stab.
Yeah, but what's scary though is that Heal Pulse is on Tapu Fini on Fiona's side of the field. That's already been proven. Magic Room coming out, so actually interesting. I like it. So
but
it's gonna be one. Yeah, go for it.
In the process, he does remove his own Focus Sash and also Choice Scarf.
He does. So here's my question though. Does Fiona have anything to take care of a soaked Shedinja if that's the case coming in here?
Excadrill. But Excadrill is in range of the Shadow Snake, if I'm not wrong.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it? No, actually, no, it's not because it switches out from a Yveltal's Z move. So Excadrill is actually pretty healthy now. So, but do you want to predict the Yveltal coming in? It doesn't really matter because you just Iron Hit the Shedinja and just go for a Dazzling Gleam because I don't think a Choice Scarf Tapu Fini usually carries haste. We see Moonblast, we see Measure.
Well, I don't think it'll survive because we saw it get taken out by the Moonblast before. And if you're investing that much into speed, you can't possibly invest that much to live. No, but you can.
He actually just went for Earthquake to hopefully, double knockout there because Tapu Fini is not a flying type Pokemon and Shedinja Wonder God doesn't really work against.
Is Shadow Snake Sucker Punch enough to knock out this Xerneas?
It might be, but because Fiona is actually fearing the Sucker Punch, so she just switched out the Excadrill. Really well played there, playing safely, and now it benefits her. But I feel like now she have to get in her Excadrill safely. But because she have Heal Pulse, it actually helps Excadrill a lot, and I think this might be game because all she needs to do is just go for Iron Hate, Heal Pulse, and a clean 2-0. Eskadru putting a lot of work here.
Yeah, putting in a lot of work and overall showing that it can be king, especially against a team like Alex's. But overall, well played by both of these trainers here. Man, the power of Excadrill on X-Ray. Who would have thought?
Yeah, we haven't seen Excadru in action today. We saw Fiona and Ryan break the same team, but we haven't seen like Excadru in action on stream. So now we finally see Excadru putting in a lot of work against a team with Primal Groudon actually.
Which is actually quite funny that we never got to see that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Um,
Another thing is I think Fiona doesn't really fear the Groudon because you're running a Rayquaza in Tapu Fini. Your Tapu Fini usually might have a water type move to pick up the one hit knockout on Groudon. For example, Skull, and also your Rayquaza is assault vested, so you have the Earth power. And because if the Groudon is not max speed, your Excadrill might have the your Excadrill Tectonic Rage will be able to pick up the knockout on the opposing Groudon.
yeah, yeah, and seeing that Tapu Fini was probably scarfed, you could probably assume he would sacrifice some speed on his Groudon in order
Mm-hmm.
to like kind of counterbalance with the fact that Fini was just so fast.
He's also running Trick Room on the Stack Attacker, so the Groudon might be a Trick Room type of Groudon.
Man, can you imagine if he actually tried to set up Trick Room too?
Yeah, because if I'm not wrong, Fiona didn't bring Amoonguss at all for the both games, so
No,
Trick Room
she
might
didn't.
yeah
And they both have Tapu Fini, so
yeah
there wouldn't have been anything to be afraid of with Spore. And you have Lot Bunny, which is basically the fastest thing on the field for Fake Out.
yeah, because I think if Alex actually approached Trick Room, like maybe you bring Stack Attacker, if you're Sugar Berry, you don't have to fear the Z move or the Earth Power from Rayquaza, and also you have your own type of love Bunny for Fake Out, and usually Shedinja does carry the move called Ally Switch, which a lot of VGC players aren't a fan of, and if you have Ally Switch, you can just Ally Switch and catch the player off guard,
Hmm.
avoiding the ground move, but usually in this case, I'm pretty sure a lot of people expect Ally Switch, but that doesn't mean Ally Switch will not work because you don't really have to click the move. People will be like, oh, maybe the Shedinja is going for Ally Switch, and they try to double target the Shedinja, and it failed.
Yeah, very true. Okay, folks, we're just gonna wrap this up here. Stay tuned very soon for your top four in this tournament. It's going to be very exciting, so stay tuned.